Skinny ties, Michael J. Fox, Family Ties, 1984. Radio, 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 radio. Don't want no more 90s shit. Nirvana was cool and maybe Pearl Jam, but that was it. Give me Springsteen, rock and roll, Cheap Trick, not Oingo Boingo. Hey, Joey Ramone, leave Michael Jackson at home. Radio, 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 radio. Radio, 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 radio. One-hit wonders, they all stars. Billy Joe, the alarm, boombox hanging on my arm. Radio, 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 radio.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
Welcome back to the Bob Sullivan Show here on latenightsportsradio.com. A tweet in from Rain Freshly saying that he will never be welcomed on Late Night Sports Radio. To have a show on here. Yeah, Rain, we've been talking about that over the break, over how uncorrallable you are and how corrupt your mind is.
It's more like, Rainin, you are going to be a star. This is just not your stage.
Yeah. That's a fair assessment. Yeah, he's it's interesting listening to him talk and then just imagining how he functions in real life. It would be. I'd like to see how he interacts with real people on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Well, Keith, I'm back with Keith Grieve, producer and from 87 Sports Fan. Keith, what was your takeaway from today with Seattle and Green Bay?
I just actually while I was watching the board for you, wrote a blog post at 87sportsfans.com. Shameless plug there about how my own personal philosophy is that it's a sign of a great team when they are able to win games they have no business winning. And now you can put the Seattle Seahawks in that category because they have no business even getting excited about going to the Super Bowl right now. The first half of that game was an absolute abortion of football. They got run in their home field. We were supposedly, it's the 12th man. It's a tough place to play. Down 16-0 because they kept just giving the ball back and giving the ball back and giving the ball back. And little un-Russell Wilson-like today usually takes care of the ball, but it just wasn't happening today.
I don't know what he was trying to do in the first half. He just, I don't know if he was trying to be, try to outgun Aaron Rodgers or what, but he's, I think he just was trying to not be himself, and that kind of got them into trouble early, and it really should have cost them the game, and the Packers just, got conservative, thought they had the game won, and yeah, that game should have been over like 3 different times, and maybe 4, and Packers just blew it at every chance they got.
Whatever surface computer that their first half offensive game plan is on from today, burn it, melt it, take a giant magnet to it so no one can ever recover any of the data because you never want to go there again. Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What do you think as far as with the Patriots and Seahawks? What do you think the biggest storyline will be going into, over the next 2 weeks?
Well, it all depends on your mentality, because if you're a Patriots hater, you're going to be looking for them to, as I'm seeing being discussed on Twitter right now. Actually, you're going to be looking for them to finally win a Super Bowl since Spygate. Okay, let's not forget that they made it to 2 other ones, and just how difficult of a task that is, as other people have been saying on Twitter as well. But the fact that if you're a hater, you're looking for that. Oh, can Belichick win this one? But another interesting angle I just tweeted out, and it just kind of came to me, was the football debate of our generation, this generation anyway, is who's the better quarterback, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. Seattle has a chance to knock them both off on the biggest stage in back-to-back years.
Yeah. Well, and looking at the other thing with the Patriots, the interesting thing with them is, Brady's 2 losses in the Super Bowl to the Giants, it was all about the Giants' front 4, getting pressure on Brady. The Seahawks, they have a complete defense, but their secondary is far superior to the Giants' secondary. What do you think the strategy should be for the Seahawks, or should they even get away from anything they're doing?
Defensively?
Yeah.
I just keep doing what you're doing because, they gave up 16 points, but they weren't losing in this game because of their defense, and so the defense is fine. It's you can't fall into this trap against New England that you did against Green Bay, because where Green Bay started to play scared and just try to run the clock out because they were afraid. New England's not going to do that. Tom Brady's going to put his foot on your throat.
Do you think, Brady's beaten complete defenses before, with whether it be the Ravens or Steelers in the playoffs. Do you think with the balance that Seattle has on defense that affects them either way? It's just so funny with the Giants. It was just such a front 4 heavy team both times they beat them that I don't know how Brady wasn't able to put more points on the board than he did against the Giants in either Super Bowl.
Yeah, Seattle can get pressure with their front 4. They don't need to blitz, so that plays into their to their advantage. They just have one of those defensive lines, and if you can drop people into coverage, you stand a better chance of controlling Tom Brady. And I know they've got LeGarrette Blount, and they're somewhat rediscovering some semblance of a ground game with Shane Vereen or whatnot, but they're a passing team, and so even if Richard Sherman has to play one-armed, he's still going to shut somebody down.
Do you think they're a team capable, who do you think's the biggest weapon that they'll have trouble stopping for the Patriots? Do you think it's Gronk? Do you think it's blunt, who do you think they're going to have the most problems with on the Patriots offense?
Gronkowski's a matchup nightmare because you can't put a corner on him, and they do. The Seahawks have probably two of the best safeties in the game, but if you get him out on a linebacker, I don't care who that linebacker is, if it's Bobby Wagner or any of the other linebackers out there, he wins that matchup. So it's just a question of where can you get him in range to make a play that could lead to a score, Well,
is it funny to you I guess with the two storylines that could pop up, Carroll playing against or coaching against the Patriots, and then the other one, Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis going, the war of words that could be coming in the media day, that could be a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Because, Sherman's not going to back down. But
no, and I think it's pretty clear that, as far as he goes, who would you take in their prime, him or Revis?
God, I don't know. I just don't know. Revis is they're both this. They both have the same effect on opposing offenses. They take away a half of a field. We don't have Sherman Island. We don't have a cool name like that. But nobody's throwing Richard Sherman's way. In week 1, Rodgers didn't even look at his half of the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he completely took out the best quarterback. His favorite target in week 1, and he made people start to question Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback for not even throwing his way.
Right.
And with Revis, he took away a side of the field, but I don't, playing in the NFC or AFC East, the guy, he would shut down great receivers left and right, but Sherman, I can't really think of, other than Crabtree, I guess there's not really a big name that he's really shut down I can really think of.
If I had no, I'm trying to think back quickly at the top of my head. He's covered pretty much everybody in the league at least once, I would think by now. I don't remember anybody having a big game against him. I remember San Diego this year actually had a decent time throwing against him, but it wasn't anything that blew your hair back. If I had to pick one, I'll take Sherman though because I like the swagger.
Yeah, same here. Well, in Revis, he shut down Moss in his prime. Well, not in his prime, but in his good years with the Patriots, he'd shut him down, and he'd shut down. He shut down quite a few good receivers. It was like an 8-week run. Like Andre Johnson was in there. It was. That's a tough call. I'd probably take Revis just because he had a good 3-4 year run with the Jets. But who knows? As far as the Colts go, how much do you think they have to fix this offseason?
I think they have a lot of question marks. I think they exceeded my expectations for the beginning of the year, but even beyond that, they are Andrew Luck and the Coltettes pretty much. Reggie Wayne is, he's got his grandkids got to be going to college soon. He's their best offensive player right now. Maybe you can make a case for T.Y. Hilton aside from Andrew Luck. And I just don't know how long you can keep that together. You got the drama with Trent Richardson not traveling with them. Boom Herron has been their running back, but last year we thought maybe Donald Brown would come back and be a chance to be the running back. They have a lot of question marks on offense, lots of question marks, and I don't know if T.Y. Hilton, and I could be wrong on this because I really haven't done any homework on this. I should probably shut my mouth, but I don't see T.Y. Hilton as running the whole route tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a good weapon to have, but I don't know if you want him to be your number one target.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a few minutes left. As far as Super Bowl, who are you predicting right now?
I'm taking the Seahawks, but not very convincingly.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks win. I'm guessing it's going to be another low-scoring Super Bowl. Kind of a disappointing one, if you ask me.
Last year they put up 40 points.
Yeah, but that was against